In this video, I'm going to show you how to automate your smart lights with your Amazon speaker. I'll walk you through 5 automations, such as having your lights turn off when you leave and turn on when you get home, automating your lights with the sunrise and sunset time, using your speaker as a motion sensor, having your lights slowly dim up after your morning alarm, and creating a free home security system.
All right, I'll start guarding now.
If this is your first time here, my name is Nick and it's my goal to help you set up the smart home of the future today. With that out of the way, let's get started. And just a heads up, I'm going to try to avoid saying this word. Instead, I'm going to call it like smart speaker or speaker. Now each of these automations have a chapter mark in the description if you want to skip ahead to your favorite one. And just real quick, I want to show you how to connect your smart light to your speaker. The procedure will vary based on which light you use, but in this example, I'm going to be using the TP-Link Kasa Wi-Fi bulb. The first thing you need to do is connect your bulb to your Wi-Fi network, and that's done through the TP-Link app. Once your bulb is set up through its app, we're going to launch the speaker app. We're going to go to the More tab and click on Skills and Games. Here, we're going to search for the TP-Link Kasa skill. Press Enable and sign into your TP-Link account. And now we can start automating. Let's set up our sunrise and sunset automation. In the speaker app, we're going to go to the More tab, and then we're going to select Routines. Before we can create our first routine, I want to show you the Feature tab. Here you'll see a few pre-made routines that you can customize with your devices. And I'm going to start with the very top one, sunset lights. You can change the name of the routine instead of sunset lights to something you want. And if you change the at sunset, you can actually have it happen either up to 1 hour before sunset or up to 1 hour after sunset. And you can even have it happen only during certain days of the week. You can add more actions, but for now, I'm just going to select our newly added light. Tap on the lights and then find your bulb. They are sorted alphabetically. Now the options that you see here are going to depend on your type of bulb. This bulb, I can select a specific color, set a specific brightness, and I can even choose to ramp up the brightness. But if I do ramp the brightness, you cannot select a specific color. Hit Next and hit Save. Now we're going to create a routine to have our lights slowly dim up after we dismiss our alarm, and as a bonus, we'll even have our speaker tell us what events we have on our calendar and give us some highlights from the news. In the upper right, hit the plus icon, and we can give this routine a name. And then select when this happens. We'll choose alarms and then hit Next. Right now, this automation will run anytime the alarm is dismissed on our smart speaker. But if you only want it to happen on certain days or between certain times, you can change that here. And then under Action, we will go to Smart Home, Lights, and once again find our smart light. You can of course select multiple lights here if you wish. Select Next, and then I'm going to turn on my lights and adjust my brightness to about 70%. And I'm going to ramp the brightness over the course of 5 minutes. Next, I'm going to add another action, and I'm going to choose Briefing, and I'm going to select Summaries and Highlights to get a briefing of my calendar events and any sort of reminders I may have. And if you wish, you can add another action to play the news. And if the news is bringing you down, you can always select Good News. And if you have more than one smart speaker, you can choose which speaker to play the audio through. So let's say you dismiss the alarm in your bedroom, but you want the audio to play in the smart speaker in your kitchen. You can always select that one. But for me, I'm going to select this mobile device because that will allow the audio to play through my phone. That way I can listen to it on my headphones rather than having to wake everyone else up. Now let's set up a routine to have our lights turn on when we enter a room. Hit the plus icon and give your routine a name. Hit the plus icon next to when this happens and go to Smart Home and select the device you want to use as your motion sensor. For this one, I'm going to select when people are detected. And of course, you can set up a routine to have the lights turn off when someone isn't detected in the room, and this routine will work with almost any Amazon smart speaker, but in my experience, it works best with the Echo Show since it also uses our cameras rather than just relying on microphones. And once again, you can change when you want to enable this routine, but for now, I'm going to leave it as anytime. But you could create multiple routines to have your lights set up at certain brightness levels during different times of the day. Say for example, early in the morning you could have your lights only come up to a certain amount of brightness compared to later on in the day. But for now, I'm just going to power my lights at 100% brightness. So I'm going to go to Add Action, Smart Home, Lights, locate my light or lights, hit Next. I'm going to turn on the power and select my brightness to 100%, hit Next, and hit Save. And now let's create an automation to have our lights turn off automatically whenever we leave and have them turn back on whenever we get home. To do this though, you will need to give the smart speaker permissions to have access to your location on your phone. I'm going to create a new routine and name my routine. And under when this happens, I'm going to select a location, and then I'm going to select leaves, and I'm going to select my home. Here I can also update my geofence around my house. I'm going to select next, and then under add action, I will select smart home, and then I'll select lights, find my light, and set it to power off my light. Now let's create a routine to have our smart speakers act as a free home security system. To do this, we're going to be using Amazon service called Guard. Now Guard is a free service that they offer to let you use your smart speakers to listen for certain sounds, such as glass breaking or smoke alarms. But there is also the Guard Plus service. That's one that Amazon offers for about $5 a month, and the main difference between Guard and Guard Plus is that with Guard Plus, it connects you to an Amazon emergency service helpline, where it gets you in touch with a real person and they can contact the police or fire department for you. Guard Plus will also play sounds if it detects an intruder, such as a dog barking or a siren. But even with the free service, we can still listen for sounds such as glass breaking or smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. And we can have our lights turn on and off just like as if we were home, even when we're away. I'm going to create a new routine. I'm going to call this routine Away. And under when this happens, I'm going to select Guard. And I'll select Set up Sound Detection. I'll leave on smoke and carbon monoxide as well as glass break. Hit OK, and hit Done. So when we want to start the Guard, all we have to do is say, Smart Speaker, I'm leaving. So I'll select Away, hit Next, and then I'll add an action. Scroll down to Guard, and then I'm going to select Next. And now we need to customize what we want Guard to do when we're away. So we're going to go to our settings, and then scroll down until you find Guard. And at the very top, you should see a blue box to set up more Guard features. Here we can select what options we want, and we can see which ones are available for Guard Plus. For now, I'm just going to select Away Lighting. I can select which lights I want, and I need to make sure that I enter my zip code so that way Smart Speaker knows when my sunset is. And that's it. Let me know if you have any questions or if there are any automations you need help creating. But with that, I'll see you in the next one.